Hello, and good to be with you this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me from across the world. I'm sure there's quite a lot of people that are watching from across the world, though this story is around a bishop in South Africa, which I happened to indirectly confront on a TV program last Sunday, which was being on DSTV, that is Africa's satellite TV. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I just felt it's appropriate and right to bring some sort of clarity to some of the events you watched when you saw that episode of Amabishop, which is a program on TV, which is the bishop, which I confronted Bishop Zondo with so many allegations against him. A lot of you guys know those allegations already, allegations of financial abuse, manipulations, women, maltreating women, and a whole lot of stuff, which he became very defensive around. And it caused a lot of social media. He was actually trending on Sunday all the way to Monday morning. It was trending on Twitter. And everybody had their own opinion, obviously. So I'm going to try to bring and discuss a few things that were not actually that we're not actually in within the, what do you call it, that we're not actually within the can you guys see me? Okay. That we're not actually within they were not in that program in itself. Oh, I don't know why this try to make sure I sort that out. Not a good sound, not a good sound, not a good sound. Let me see how I can actually, let me close this sound quickly. Let me make sure we don't get rid of it. Right, so, oops, I thought I got rid of it. It's going to be a distraction for us. It's a distraction for us. Let me see. All right, so I'm just going to take some time to look at it, and I'm going to play you the preview of the video that I actually played, just a preview of the TV program that I was on. I'm gonna, just so you can get some sort of a background regarding what happened, right? Let me see if I can, let me see some of you. Oh, we got people already watching. Rigobert from Tanzania. The Primi is saying, let's investigate that pastor who was trying to speak for Zondo. I somehow think he's a charlatan. Yes, he is a charlatan. His name is, he calls himself Bishop Julius Molloy. He's a big charlatan based in Flagstaff. Been playing with the women. He just got a wife recently, after all the women that you've been to and fro with. He's Zondo's sidekick. He's like his spiritual son. So obviously he was there to defend him. That's what he was all about. So let me now just take a time to play you a video from the guys. How long have we been on here? Oh, somebody's saying I'm finishing their data. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm finishing your data. Are you guys there? I'm just trying to make sure I hold on for me. Noms, okay. So I'm going to try to play you the video now, just so you can have a bit of a background around this sort of program. In case you didn't watch it, or in case you're someone like Rigobert who's watching from Tanzania, just so you can have some sort of idea what I'm really talking about. And also I see Katoima, all the way from Namibia. So I'm going to play you the video just so you can have some sort of a background around what I'm talking about. Zondo runs a church called Rivers of Living Waters in the Val, in the south part of Johannesburg. Quite a lot of people, thousands and thousands go to his church. He has branches across South Africa, in Botswana also. He has branches. So he's sort of like very influential, right? He's sort of like very influential. So I'm going to be talking to you about Bishop Zondo and some of the atrocities that has been thrown around about him by his sister, by his niece, his former pastors, his former leaders, young girls who were around him, people that have known him for a short time, people that have known him for a very long time, all different people that are watching, that have been watching him. I want to say thank you to Timothy Zaka, all the way from Jos, Nigeria. I'm from Jos, Nigeria. In case you're wondering what part of Nigeria I'm from, that's my city, Jos. Born and grew up there. My family, my mother, my siblings, they still live there. So thank you, Timo. And Eswatini is also present, all the way from the Kingdom of Eswatini, former Swaziland. Thank you. Ruvimbo is saying Bishop Zondo loves women. Some of the stuff he said on that program is actually very shocking. Telling the presenter that, if I had money, why should I go and abuse another woman? If I had money, I could just go and pay for a woman and have a good time. That's from a bishop. Yeah, you can imagine that. And that's when you hear something like that, you must question the content of the heart of the person. It reveals so much about the person. You shouldn't just take it casual, like he's just making an example. No, it's something that he could do. That's what he's saying, technically. So let me play you a clip. About that program that we had with Zondo, myself.
They say you are a witch warlord. Why do you think it's taking long for the police to charge him?
You know how many case numbers have been thrown away? Zondo is like a mafia.
It annoys me when you mention the name Solomon. I don't know him. Zondo
has left God. God has left him. I'm not even going to call him bishop because he's not worthy of a bishop.
And that's it. So you hear what he has to say. That he said I was saying that he sleeps with women, and now, but he has never seen me. I've never seen him drop his pants in front of my wife. Can you believe it? Can you believe that, Bishop? Bishop. That's why I said he's not worthy to be called Bishop. Bishop is not just a name. It's not just a title. It's an office. And once it's in office, there are expectations from that office, from that person occupying the office. So you cannot casually say things that you think they're just going to go away. No. And there are so many accusations against him. I've met so many victims. I have case numbers of these atrocities. So, is that my sound gone bad? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? It's fine now. Okay. All right, brilliant. I think it was because of the video. Okay, Manuel. Okay, Primi. Thank you. All right, thanks, Galen. So let me establish something. What happened? I was invited on that program because they deal with issues that have to do with the office of the bishop and the church. I was invited. And when I was invited, they said, look, we want to confront these issues that have been out there about Bishop Zondo. And we know you've been you've been vocal around allegations that are against Zondo. So we want you to come. And the allegations are all over. We know you've been brutal about him, dealing with these issues and hitting these issues really hard. So we want you to come. We want you to come and be a guest. I said, why do you want me to come? Does Zondo agree that he's going to be there? Yes. Did Zondo agree that he's going to sit with me so I can face him face to face and tell him what he has done? And let's see if he's going to deny it and how he's going to explain it. But you need somebody that would sit face to face with him. He's been avoiding the victims. He's been avoiding the CRL commission. He's been avoiding people that disagree with him. Now, is he ready to sit down face to face with me and have a chat around it? They said, yes, he's ready. You arrange everything. I said, okay, they arrange everything. So the thing is, normally I've been on the program before. I'm a bishop and also Abafundisi and all that. And normally when they want to shoot it, they shoot it somewhere in town, which is very central for everybody to come. So I thought they were going to shoot it in town. They said, no, they can't shoot it in town, that they're going to be shooting it in the Val. I said, where? Which is where, what's his name, Zondo is from. And you know what? I now discovered that they were shooting it on his church premises, where he's building his new building, on the church premises. The same place where they allegedly said he had done a lot of, sacrifices and stuff. I said, okay. I thought about, why should I go to his church? Why should we go to him? What is he afraid of coming out of his zone to meet in a central place? And I'm going to say his church in the Val, you're talking about almost an hour, close to an hour away from Johannesburg. I said, so why do we have to do that? I wasn't happy about it, but you see, I'm the kind of person that I can go to the enemy's camp. I believe we as Christians, if we know where we stand, we go into the enemy's camp. We go into anywhere for the gospel. We go in there and defend all that. I said, okay. A friend of mine advised me, hey, Solomon, I think you shouldn't go. If it's Zondo's church in Unita, I said, Unita, some of you guys who know the place around Unita, that in the Val Triangle, no, you shouldn't go. I said, no, I'm going to go. So I went. And I remember I went and I met Maponga somewhere on the way, Joshua Maponga, and he was driving in front of me and we went together. We arrived together. And as soon as we arrived together, Piri was there and Zondo was there in his office. So I was now by my side. We didn't get to see with Zondo at all before the shoot. And everything was prepared that we were going to sit together, the same interview set, and discuss these things. Everything was arranged. That's what was going to happen. The producers and the directors, that was the arrangement days before that day. So as soon as we arrived with Maponga, he was driving in front of me. Maponga now took time with Zondo. Zondo was taking him around the church building and showing him stuff. And sometimes I wonder, maybe Maponga was one of the reasons. I feel Maponga is one of the reasons why Zondo decided not to be in the same interview set with me. That's what I suspect. Right? So we went there and I went to do my makeup in one of the church office where the makeup artist was. And there I remember there's a girl that came. She was like, are you Solomon? I said, yes. He said, what do you think, what do you think about our building, our church? Because they're building this big, massive building. You know, what do you think about our building, our church? She is Bishop Zondo's PA. And I told her, look, I'm not moved by building. God doesn't live in buildings. I'm sorry. That's not how I evaluate how effective ministries are. And just to let you know, the same girl that I met who was his PA just a couple of, maybe about 2 months ago or a month ago or so when we shot this, I heard that she's left right now and she's accusing him of trying to sleep with her. That's what I heard from Soli Popedi. So I said, no, I'm not moved by that. So I did makeup. And then we all went to the set where all the camera guys, they've set up everything. And it was now left for us to shoot. You know, we're ready. And all this while, I hadn't met Zondo, like face to face. So now I was just getting ready. And then the producer now came to me and said, Solomon, we're really extremely sorry. Zondo said that he doesn't want to have you on the same set of interview. I said, what do you mean? He said he's not comfortable. Enoch Piri came to me saying the same thing. I said, guys, you brought me here. I drove for about an hour. And we waited here for about 3 hours getting ready for this shoot because you're trying to get all your cameras and stuff ready. Now it's time to shoot. And you were telling me I cannot sit and confront Zondo with questions from these victims and people that have a lot of allegations against him. Why are you allowing yourselves to be used by Zondo? He brought you to his property and he's telling you what he wants. It doesn't work that way. He's telling you, no, I don't want Solomon in the same set of interviews. I don't want to face Solomon. But he had agreed a week ago that is fine. I would face Solomon head on and we will talk about these things. And now, 30 minutes before we shoot, you were telling me this. How does that sound to you? Doesn't that seem like this guy is controlling you guys? And you agree. Instead of saying, okay, if you're not going to be on the set with Solomon, I'm sorry, no shooting. We're not going to shoot. It's as simple as that. Because as a media people, you know, you have to make that decision. It's simple. But they didn't want to know. They didn't want to know. So I thought about, hey, I might as well just drive out and leave. But I just thought that would be anger. I said, okay. They said they're going to have him on one set and have me in another set. They have him with Maponga and Piri in one set, and then they have me and Piri and Malloy, the other charlatan from Flagstaff, on the same set. I said, okay, fine. And I know Julius Malloy has been attacking me for a long time, right from the days of Abafundisi. And to be honest with you, we came to a place where they attacked my nationality. If you watch that program very well, they attack the fact that I'm Nigerian. You always bring Nigerian, Zimbabweans, or Nigerians. What is that for? It shows that you're trying to push a certain narrative that this guy is not South African. And because that's what they talk behind the scene. They always say, this guy is not South African anyway. What audacity? How is he? What does he have to? I mean, I've had pastors telling me, why am I the one that the media call when they want to talk about certain Christian issues? Can you believe it? Are we in a competition? We're not. Maybe what I have to say, they appreciate that, or that's what they want to hear. And so I was very cross. I sat down there and I was listening to Zondo being interviewed. I was there when he was being interviewed. There was a time where I just went, please stop lying, because I could hear him lying about the victims, lying about CRL Commission, lying about his life, lying about people not liking him, politicians not liking him. Blame, just like Bushiri, that's what they do. The strategy is blame everybody, but don't blame yourself. That's what is going to make you seem superior. Blame everyone, but don't blame yourself. And you see, that's so sad because you see a lot of these things every time. You see a lot of these things every moment. If you watch the interview that Zondo, Piri, and Maponga was in, you could see that they were bowing to him. Nobody could actually question him and stay on their foot and say, look, no. They were just going with the flow. Even the presenter Nimrod was just basically going with the flow. You're giving him so much respect. A man who has caused so much pain to so many people. But you're giving him so much respect. You're adoring him. You couldn't even ask him strong, probing questions. And you see, for me, when I talk about these things, I talk about it with passion. Some people were like, no, Solomon, you need to change the way that you talk and all that. Why should I change the way that you talk? You want me to talk the way that you talk? No. You want me to approach issues the way that you approach issues? No. There's no one way of approaching issues. If you're not comfortable with it, that's not you, that's me. And if you are dealing with it quietly or whatever, that's what God says to do, right? Do it. It's fine. And one of the things that was raised, some of the things that was raised in that interview with Zondo, I don't even want to go into some of the details. They're just blatant lies after lies. There was a time that he almost wanted to cry. He's not answering the questions that you ask him. He doesn't answer the question. He goes on and tell you stories that is good, that is self-glorifying. You ask him stuff, he avoids, and he gives you example of this and that has nothing to do with what they're trying to put. Some people would say that I disrespected Zondo. What do you mean disrespected Zondo? For speaking the truth? So for some people, when you disagree with a leader, it means you are disrespecting the leader. Please. No. If I disagree with Ace Makashule, I'm disrespecting him. If I agree with a king or an apostle, I'm disrespecting him. No. How I disagree with him is another thing. If I'm going to disrespect somebody, I would show that I disrespect them. But you don't decide to me how to put it. And these people have been having a field day for a long time because we've been quiet and using soft gloves to treat them. Now, when somebody comes with a hard approach, then it's a problem. It's because I know the victims that have suffered in the hands of these people. That's why I speak with so much boldness and holy anger. Holy anger is not disrespect. I never said Zondo is a fool or stupid. I don't use such words. And when you use such words, that's disrespect. But I don't use such words. But I will tell you, Zondo, this is what you did. So don't come here with the mindset of disagreeing with the leader means you disrespect him. No. No, that's not the way that it works. So you could hear Zondo saying a whole lot of stuff about lies and lying and saying stuff, and all they were just doing was nodding their head. And I was shocked that even Nimrod or Maponga and Piri knew they were going to be with Zondo. With all that they knew that people are saying about Zondo, now you could not even create questions that is really going to be probing. And when he's going off on a tangent, you don't even bring him back. You allow him to go in because you think this is this man of God, this powerful man of God. He's just a man. And the building that he built there is just a building. God is not there. And when I said God has left Zondo, I meant it. God has left Zondo because of sin. Sin. God cannot dwell in sin. The Holy Spirit cannot dwell in sin. It's as simple as that. So how do you want God to still be dwelling in the life of Zondo when Zondo is in sin? Constant, habitual, intentional, seasonal sins. Like I told you, Maponga went for a walk with him before the shoot. And I suspect it was Maponga that actually got him to not have me in the same set, because I know what Maponga thinks about me. He always tells me, no, you have to calm down and all. No, that's your approach, Maponga. That's not my approach. And Maponga is also somebody that moves from Christianity to traditional beliefs and, you know, keeps swinging like that. That's him, so that's up to him. And, you know, on the second session, when it was myself, Nimrod, Piri, and Molloy, I knew he is Zondo's sidekick. He's Zondo's protege. He's aspiring to want to be like him. So I know he was going to defend him. So when he started telling me that I'm not a journalist, where is your license to practice journalism? Do you ever get a license to practice journalism? You don't. Do you have to be a member of a journalism organization or media organization for you to practice journalism? No. That was why I told him, let me educate you. He said, oh, well, if they have a problem, where should they run to? No. There are freelance journalists. There are people that are called independent journalists, freelance journalists. And a lot of people are doing that. A lot of journalists are doing that just so they're not going to be influenced in certain cases because of that. I was a member of an international media organization in Italy at one point, but the card expired and I didn't renew it. But is that supposed to mean I'm not supposed to be a member of a journalist anymore? And I'm a journalist / activist. I'm more an activist who is using journalism to do activism. So for you to actually even say, you know, you need a license, oh my God, you need a license, you know, and a lot of people thought it's true, you need a license to be a journalist. Do you know a lot of the journalists you see today, majority of them never went to journalism school. They never studied journalism. I studied mass communication journalism, my first degree. But a lot of the guys, name them, go and Google them. They never went to journalism school. All they did was maybe they got short training here, short training there, or they just have a natural skill, you know, and talent towards journalism. So for you to even want to try to discredit me that I'm not a journalist, you know, all you have to do is go and Google my name. I've been around the world as a journalist. I've covered a lot of events around the world as a journalist. So, you know, I'm talking about 15 years now going. So for you to come up here, and begin to say things, you know, just to try to discredit the person, you don't know what you're saying. I think for me, he actually totally embarrassed himself that you talk that you need a license to practice as a journalist. You know, I cannot believe it. Or you must belong to an organization if you're a journalist. I couldn't just believe it. So you're trying to take maybe the medical profession and use the same yardstick with the media profession. No, every profession is different. The way that they do things is different. And he coming up and also saying it's irresponsible journalism and all that. What they want is for you to take it easy with them so they can get away with so many things. That Molloy, a lot of people have reported him to me. They didn't show it. I told him on set when we were doing that recording, I have files on you. I told him. It's as simple as that. You could see clearly he's there to defend Zondo. Piri was trying to be diplomatic, but he doesn't even know how to be diplomatic. You could see that Piri and Zondo, they're friends. They're very good friends. Let me put it out there. Piri and Zondo are very good friends. Actually, Piri was one of the guys that facilitated that interview. They're very good friends. So we know. And even before the interview, the producers were slow in getting some of the victims to come on set, right? You know, and come on. So I don't know. So they put on, after the program, they put on a disclaimer, right? And this is one of the disclaimers that they put on. I want you to read it. After the program, they put on this disclaimer, say, this show is recorded at Pastor Zondo's chosen location. So the whole thing that I've told you about, it was Zondo's chosen location. They said, we invited former members of Pastor Zondo's church who claimed to be victims of his abuse, but they were not comfortable to film at his chosen location, so they canceled at the last minute. We tried to get a neutral place to film, which Zondo declined. Can you see that? Zondo refused to move from his location, and the former church members were actually saying, we're not going to go to that location. We know the kind of stuff that was done in that location, and we're not going to go there. And Zondo refused to move to a neutral place. He's afraid of something. Zondo has been afraid of something. He's afraid of all that. You know, somebody is saying that Maponga is here. Hello, Maponga. No, to be honest, even yesterday, I have some girl coming to me and reporting Maponga. And she showed me evidences. And it's not good. Let me put it out there. Because for me, I love to be straight, you know? And it's something that I'm going to discuss with him. I'm not going to discuss it here, but I'm going to discuss with him. Because I have those proofs, screenshots. You see, with what I do, I don't go around looking for stories. People come to me with stories because they've been hurt, because something went wrong and all that kind of stuff for different reasons. And that's their story. That's not my story. Anyway, that's the disclaimer. Now here's the second disclaimer that they put on. Disclaimer, Bishop Zondo left when Solomon arrived. You see, this disclaimer, the way they put it, actually they put it wrongly. He didn't leave when I arrived. I was there, and it was when it was time for us to go on set together for the interview that he now said no. Again, I was said, maybe Maponga influenced him. And he said no. So for them to say Bishop Zondo left when Solomon arrived, no. Because I was there when Zondo did his interview. I was sitting right there when he did his interview. And after his interview, he left and sat in another part of the church, which is a compound, and he was watching us when I went on set and did my own interview. So he didn't leave anywhere. I left the church building before him. He was there before me and I left before him. So the way that they actually phrase this is very incorrect. I don't know if they did that intentionally or it was just their own way of, or if it was a mistake from their side. I have no idea. So, This is what Pamela is saying, because that location is where he buried his charms. That was why the victims didn't want to go there. I've spoken even 2 days ago. I spoke to some of the guys. Say, no, we cannot go there. We know what has been planted there, and we do not want to be a part of it. And you see, for somebody like me, I don't care what you plant there. I know the power of God. I know what God can do. I know the authority that I carry in Christ Jesus. It's as simple as that. So I'm not going to say because you've done all your. When I step in there, every spirit would know that the Spirit of God is here. Nothing is going to influence me. Nothing I'm going to be afraid of. And we must see that as Christians. You know, we have the power over the power of the enemy. Do you know that? We must never back down. We must never say, well, this and that. No, we must not do that. And somebody here, Samuel Lamini, saying, "Good day, Mr. Solomon. Preach the word of God in a negative story, all about you. God put the word of God in your spirit." Negative stories. Then go read the Bible. There are so many negative stories there, Samuel. I think you don't read your Bible, in Samuel. There are negative stories there. The story of Samson. This morning with my wife, we wake up. We normally do our morning devotion around 6. We read Judges 15. There were negative stories there. My wife is saying, no, this is so bloody. When he took the jawbone of a donkey and killed the Philistines. For what? But Sheba and David is a negative story. But you see, out of the negative story, that's where we see God. And that's what we're looking for here. We're not just looking for negative stories. We're looking for God in the negative stories and learn and say, what do we do? How do we go about it? That's what it is. DJ Luke essay is saying, Solomon, your life will disappoint those who are waiting for your downfall. They will see the goodness of God in you and your family. Brother, that's the only thing. It's not by power nor by might, but it's by the Spirit of God. I'm not able to do anything in my own powers except by God. That's who I depend on. That's who you should depend on. That's who every one of us, should depend on. People are used to people speaking with compromise. But you see, I don't compromise because it's the same thing I have with my life. I don't want to compromise. I speak the truth and that's just it. But for a lot of people, when you speak that, they don't appreciate it. You irritate people by speaking the truth. You irritate a lot of people by speaking the truth. That's what it is, and it's sad, but they don't know that it's the truth that sets you free. It's the truth that would send in the grace of God for us to be able to dislink ourselves from certain sin and certain things that we've been doing that has been strongholds over our lives. It's the truth that would do that. So I just want to encourage every one of you to say, look, Lord, I want to be the truth. I want to live the truth. Anywhere I go to, whatever I do, even when I get opportunity to not live the truth, I want to do the truth. I would fight that opportunity to not do the truth. It's important. It's important. Thank you, guys. I see a lot of people encouraging me. Somebody's saying that I agree with Primi. Uncle Solomon is so brave, regardless of him being in a foreign land. Keep it up, Uncle. For me, I don't see foreign land. Land is land. The Bible says that the earth is the Lord and his fullness thereof. And that's always my perspective. Whether it's Nigeria or Ghana or Kenya or the US or Istanbul in Turkey or UAE, is the Lord. The earth is the Lord. Anybody that sees anything, because it's not about being foreign, it's about truth. That's what we're talking about. So thank you, guys. I love every one of you guys. He said, somebody's saying, Uncle Solomon, invite Pastor Mercado for another live stream to lecture the audience about church mafia. People are prey to these buggers. Yeah, I think I'm going to invite him. He called me yesterday, actually. And we spoke about yesterday evening. We spoke a little bit. But I'm going to try to invite him again. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Thank you for your prayers. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all that you're doing for me and my family. Thank you for holding on the truth. If there's anything I desire for you is to hold on to the truth and to live the truth, to continue to every day practice the truth. because that is more important than any other thing. That's my desire. That's why I do Solomon's Temple, not for any reason. Please do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow me also on social media. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.